Hey guys, YST here, welcome back to another Raid Shadow Legends video, and today we are on the test server and we're going to be trialing out some teams to help you take down Astranyx the Dark FAE against floor 120 of the hard Doom Tower, like you see right here. Now, we're not just going to use these champions, we are going to spice it up, bring in duplicates, and even remove a ninja, just to really help you guys out in what kind of rosters you have. I'd kind of guess that if you're facing 120 of hard, you will already have a ninja. So I just kind of want to help out the people that don't have one and they're doing stage 40, stage 80, and so forth. So let's go into the boss guide and kind of talk about the kits of Astranyx. I know a lot of you guys do have a big issue with this boss from comment sections, etc. And Dark Light Beams attacks all enemies, has a 100% chance of placing a leech debuff on each enemy for 2 turns. This ability doesn't hit the hardest, but it does get really tedious if you allow Astranyx to take more turns than she should, which is why we have multiple turn meter reduction champions in our team. But Leech pretty much allows the boss to heal back up with those AoE hits. You don't want that to happen, guys. On Dark Tendrils, she attacks all enemies and steals 1 random buff from each enemy according to the number of magic champions on the enemy team. 1 buff for each magic champion. Then will steal the target's turn meter from each enemy according to the number of force champions on the enemy team. As you see here, we've got no force champions and we're also running no buffs, so she can't steal anything here, which is working out really great. Then 25% chance of placing a true fear debuff on each enemy for 1 turn, and the chance increases by 25% for each void champion. So having someone like a Cold Heart could give that extra chance to place a true fear and potentially make us miss some cooldowns. So trying to gain control as quick as possible will really help you out here. Then heals Astranyx by 10% of a max HP for each spirit champion on the enemy team. So the best way for me personally is bring in primarily magic champions and bring in as less buffs as possible, so we're not getting stolen and we can gain full turn meter control. The only void champion here is a Cold Heart, and the only spirit champion is a Deacon Armstrong, who is the man of the match. And then heading into Fairy Storm, attacks all enemies and all living allies will team up to join this attack, and damage increases by 25% for each living ally. And this is where you're probably getting one shot and getting really frustrated with this. Dark Abduction can banish 1 enemy champion and spawns a mirror copy of them onto Astranyx's team and places a true fear debuff on all enemies for 1 turn. So this one here really tedious, but once again, if you gain control, you won't have an issue with it. And then on the FAE Mirror passive, places a perfect veil buff on Astranyx for 3 turns and spawns mirror copies of all enemies onto Astranyx's team at the start of the battle. So if you're familiar with this, you go into it and pretty much your team is on her team and you're like, what the heck is going on? Pretty much, even though that you've got the same stats, etc., your team actually gets to go first as long as you're going faster than the Dark FAE, which we'll speak about shortly. So if you have a provoke champion, a stun champion, a freeze champion like Ninja, as long as your champions are faster than Dark FAE, you're able to take that first turn, so you do have the upper hand. Then this Dark Energy here resets after 5 turns, and that's pretty much the main things. So why have I built a team like this, and why is Deacon so amazing? Deacon has Leech, allowing us to heal, has turn meter increase and decrease in the kit, which isn't a buff, meaning that your other champions can't get stolen from this. We also have drop defense to really help our other champions to deal more damage through Giant Slayer and War Master masteries. Allure, I will be bringing in a second one in the second part of this video, and pretty much we're just chunking down with our A1 and keeping that turn meter down, very similar to the Fire Knight. We have got a ninja for the burns and also the freezes for the actual team once we come across it, to kind of make sure that we're not getting hit. As I said, many ways to do this. Sleeps, freezes, stuns, provokes. All of these CC abilities is what you want to be bringing here. Unless you're running like Herndigs or Biggins with ally attacks, then you do not need the CC. But once again, we'll speak about that later on. Real Guard is here for the enemy max HP and also the decreased speed and turn meter decrease on that A3 ability. Really underrated, guys. So if you're struggling for turn meter champions, look no further than a Royal Guard. We have then got our Cold Heart with the Heart Seeker ability and the AoEs to really help us out on those waves, and the heal reduction on that A1, which is really nice, I guess. So I'm going to talk about presets, and this will kind of carry for the rest of the teams that I show you, so pay real close attention here. I know we're speaking about it a lot, but I just really want to help you guys out. So on round 2, on Deacon Armstrong, I am blocking off the A2. I am blocking off the time compression to save those abilities for once we come up against the boss. These presets, game changer. Literal game changer, because it's allowing me to farm these gear sets full auto, I'd say 99% of the time, unless we get resisted. So yeah, this is kind of the way that I've got my Deacon set up. Round 1 doesn't matter. Round 2, open and block and save all of our abilities for here. Allure, we are blocking everything off, but we're opening up with Temptation to place those sleeps so the opposite Allure doesn't place that sleep on us. So when she wakes up, we're like, hello there, we're going to place a CC ability on you. And then from there, it's pretty much very simple. But round 2, once again, we're blocking off that ability because we need it on that third one. Similar with Cold Heart, we're blocking off on wave 2, opening up with this and a first priority on that Heart Seeker. Ninja has a priority on the freeze on wave 3, blocking off on the wave 2. And same thing with Royal Guard, blocking off and saving it all for once we get to the boss. If you have a look here, the speeds are... Actually, let's just quickly talk about the speeds before we do this. If you guys aren't interested in this, you can forward. I have got a timeline on the video. So hopefully you guys can see this, but it actually has on a YumiLove.com or Hell Hades all of the stats for all of the floors on Astranyx the Dark FAE or any of the bosses, and also breaks down all of the kit and stuff and like the gear sets and champions that you may want to bring into the mix. This is a really cool team as well. And pretty much on stage 120, the hardest stats you're going to get is 250 speed, 330 resistance, and they have 250 accuracy. Now, we don't have to worry about the accuracy because we might get occasional leeches or something like that, but in the grand scheme of things, in this style of team, don't worry about resistance. All you need is enough accuracy to get through that resistance, which is 330, and then above 250 speed on mainly like allures or ninjas, the champions that you need to outspeed on the first turn. And then once we apply that decreased speed, we get a 30% decrease. We're able to just cycle through and keep that thing under control like a Fire Knight. If you do want to see this, I will post it in the pinned comment of the description of this video, and you guys can check it out. So back to the team. Let's get into the runs. I will showcase 3 teams, and then we will talk about other options towards the end of the video. Let's go. Okay then, so pretty much here, doesn't matter on wave 1. I'm not going to show you the waves for every single run, but I think it's important to show the first one, so you see why the priorities are working on full auto. Shout out to Nubraids as well, in the top left corner. Don't know what he's doing, maybe something to do with the new Fusion champion. And now here, we're pretty much just going to kill them with A1s and A2s, etc. because we're trying to save those abilities for once we come up against ourselves. Alright then, so once you come up against the boss, you will be facing yourself. And there's those freeze abilities coming through with the drop turn meter and decreased speed there from our Royal Guard. You will then get one banished champion. In this case, it was Royal Guard. Get them down, and then now we're in sync. Guys, this is floor 120. We're using one rare champion, no duplicates, and a free legendary in Ninja. We pretty much take that one hit, and that's it. Pretty much. We just need to get that decreased speed on one more time from our Royal Guard. Like so. And that's it. Dark FAE is never taking a turn again. And you can bring in so many different champions. think about the possibilities in turn meter decrease. There is Sylar, there is Armigas, the uncommon champion, Lysandra. All of these champions is going to be beneficial here. Deacon Armstrong is my favorite, but it's not to say that he's the only choice for this style of team. More turn meter decreases, more burns. So we did get an extra hit there. It's all good. Now, as long as you don't take another hit after the leech, or you just cycle through the abilities like you see right now, you're going to have no issues. And there we go. So we had 195,000 damage on Deacon, 380 allure, 600,000 on Cold Heart, Ninja with 1.4 million, and Royal Guard with 1.08 million. This is the final boss in under 100 turns, full auto in 2 minutes. 2 minutes! It's insane, guys. In the previous rotations, there was no chance because I had to manually set it without those round presets. This is a game changer for sure. So as promised, let me switch up the team and we'll get back into another run. Okay then, so this is team number 2. We are using a Deacon once again because he is the highlight of today's video. And we have got 2 allures in this one for you lucky people who have them. 1 Royal Guard and a Nari the Lucky. Some of you guys may be thinking, what the heck is Nari doing here? Well, he has decreased resistance. And if you are struggling to reach the speeds and also reach the accuracy stats at the same time, someone like a Nari the Lucky is outstanding. Allows you to reduce that accuracy, focus on that speed to keep up to the speeds of the final boss. Also has a AoE provoke with that counter attack. So very similar to the ninja, you are now placing provokes instead, which is just outstanding. And that is allowing the enemy team to attack Nari the Lucky if they manage to take a turn, whereas in the last run, they was under a freeze. So if you don't have a Nari, just bring in a Vizix, probably even better if you can get the accuracy, because she has turn meter decrease on that A1, and also a decreased speed if you don't have someone like a Royal Guard. So let's get into the run. So on this one here, pretty much very similar things like you've seen in the last one. And then on this one, we're just going to be placing that same allure ability. Place those sleeps, drop the fans, and provokes. We managed to kill a few there, which was pretty nice. Remember, the less tanky your champions are, the easier they're going to be to kill. Not to say that you can't bring in tanky champions, but for the strategy that I like to use, I like to keep them as less tanky as possible because we have got a leech debuff in Deacon to heal us back up to full. There's that leech, and turn by turn, you're going to see the heals of our champions. It just works out pretty nice, and it's going to work out the same. Pretty much you're going to see that there's no resistance on any of our champions here. And I even took off some accuracy from Allure, the one on the right, not the one on the left. So she only has 230 accuracy in this run. And she's still placing her debuffs because of that decreased resistance. So I thought it was really important to show this. So we're coming through here. No problems. This one took about double the time because we didn't have that Heart Seeker or the burns. But 184 turns in 4 minutes 20. That is not so bad whatsoever. So pretty nice team. And let's get into team number 3. So this team here is pretty much double allure with the freeze again. And it works out pretty nice. And whilst this one is running, I just want to talk about some other strategies. So you could pretty much bring in big uns, Herndigs, one-shot the wave, and take full control as well. You can bring in ally attack, make sure that they're one of the fastest. Have someone like a Bellower or whoever to come through and one-shot your team again. These are just all ways that you guys can think about it. For me personally, when I say that this is one of the most fun bosses for me, I meant it because it's really universal. There is so many champions that have turn meter control in their kits, decrease speed in their kits. It's just going to work out great. So let's just get through to the end of this one. I'm not sure if this one was as fast as the first one, but I think it was pretty close. I think it was 96 turns in that first one. And I'll show you all of the stats, the masteries, and a few other options straight after this. There's that decreased speed, decreased turn meter. We're getting a few resisted ones here because I didn't take off or add the accuracy back. So that just proves the point that I did take off in the previous run, because that allure didn't get resisted in the first rotation. And there we have it, 1.6 million, 96 turns again, and 2 minutes and 7 seconds. Fastest time. So if you've got 2 allures, definitely think about bringing them in. I don't even think you need a 6-star, but it might be a bit hard reaching those speed thresholds. If it's your second one, as long as they're going reasonably fast, it shouldn't be a problem whatsoever. So let's just head into the champions that I actually used in today's video. We don't want to go into the index. And we go recently used. And here we go. So Ninja was at our 273 speed. Reasonably fast, but remember the stage that I'm hitting. Go to the link, check the speeds of your Dark FAE on your difficulty, and just pan according to that. For me, Ninja was playing the role of a provoked champion, like a Vizix or a Nari the Lucky, so I had to up that speed. Did he have to be 173 or 273? Nope. He could have been 255, it doesn't matter. As long as it's speed tuned and you're faster than the Dark FAE, you're not going to have an issue here. Allure number 1 is my primary one that I use for the Fire Knight, so she's going at 285, but this one is only going at 240, and you can kind of balance it in any way that you want to. Remember, just be faster than 250 and make sure that they're taking a turn before the Dark FAE. That's it. Royal Guard is at, what was it, 234 speed, 350 accuracy. Deacon Armstrong is at a 256 speed, so 6 speed over the Dark FAE. Crit rate we don't matter, sustainability, and enough accuracy to place those debuffs. Cold Heart was really slow at 205, and enough accuracy there. And Nari the Lucky was at a 530 accuracy and 255 speed. That's only because we got the Mastery Tree. It's my PvP build. This is my Cold Heart with Helm Smasher. Deacon Armstrong, we've gone for the War Master. Royal Guard for Helm Smasher. Allure for Giant Slayer for that triple hit A1. And Ninja, we have gone for Helm Smasher again. Interesting. I definitely recommend a War Master for bosses, but those are my builds. Geomancer could be another great one with that turn meter decrease as well, and the reflections of the burns. And in terms of index, pretty much, I don't even have to go through this, guys, because it's self-explanatory. I like attack champions, whoever you've got. And then there's, in the high elves, there is a Lysandra. We got the increased speed, the turn meters, fully depletions, and the transferring of buffs, with a hefty 24% speed aura in all battles, guys. I wanted to showcase her, but I thought Deacon was just a really cool choice. You've also got people like Arbiter to increase your turn meter and also place a weaken. Tyro has dropped turn meter on his A3. Here we go, on a 4-turn cooldown. That's pretty much it, guys. Like, there's so many champions in the game. Get spicy with it, get those Theorycraft hats on, and you'll be fine as long as you follow a very similar thing. So yeah, that is going to be all for the video, guys. If you enjoyed it, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. And yeah, feels good to be back, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.